Um, ah, am I live now? Well, if I ain't, it's just gonna like. But last time I done a live, I was speaking for about half an hour, and then I realised I wasn't recording, so I think I'm recording anyway. Hi everyone. Been a long time, well, a couple of weeks, but it seems like ages. But yeah, I just thought ladies and gentlemen, we have another necrophiliac. I'm pretty sure that everyone saw my post, but there was quite a lot of media attention around this guy, which I'm not going to lie, but even Brian said, no, they're pushing it too much. And the more you read into it, you start seeing that there's so much more to this story. They'll have you believe that this lone guy killed two girls in 1989, I think it was, or 87, and then stopped killing girls. And there was a gap in his offending. And then they caught him, well, basically he was at it from 1989 to 2011. Then he transferred hospitals and went to the the Royal Tunbridge Wells. But what makes me laugh is when they're reporting on Tunbridge Wells, they don't say Royal. They just say Tunbridge Wells. And then at the bottom, right at the bottom, it says Royal Tunbridge Wells. Right? I mean, I don't know whether that's anything to do with anything, but in this case, it normally is. But yeah, he filmed and catalogued his offending on small cameras. And he had hard drives, floppy disks, what's that? Memory cards, DVDs. And then it says, after 33 years, the parents of the two girls that got murdered in 1989 or 1987 are going to get justice. And did you know, ladies and gentlemen, that with a necrophiliac, the maximum sentence that can be given to somebody for fucking dead bodies is 2 years. What? Like, 2 years sentence it carries. Necrophilia. That to me really blew my mind. But then the further down I went, it then said he had the largest stash of child porn images the police had ever seen. Now, bearing in mind they've been catching a few nonces lately. Paul Farrow, and he had loads of child porn. So the police reckon that this was the biggest stash of child porn images. Right. My question is, who's on them fucking DVDs and floppy disks and God knows what else he had, hard drives, everything. Who was on there? Because this is getting ridiculous. Yeah? I mean, it started with Jimmy Savile, necrophiliac, never happen again, they said. Okay. Well, it's happened again. And also we have the porter, Paul Farrell, from Great Ormond Street. Don't forget about him. Yeah? And don't think these people don't know each other. Because it's just so sick. But it's a small world when it comes to that shit. A very, very, very small world. But what I know that we are in danger of, yeah, is I mean, even in the pop music, what our children, what like your children, everyone's children are watching, and that's that little Nas X. Now, I don't understand, because YouTube took down one of my videos this morning saying that they removed my content because it went against community guidelines. Well, how have you got a video of that little Nas X promoting everything? Just sick. And then he brings out a pair of trainers with blood in them and a pentagram on the top. But that's not breaching community guidelines. I don't understand it, and yet they removed my Alex Jones. Yeah? I mean, I'm not going to lie. I know Alex Jones is part of the thing, but he still comes out with some good work. And if it's good work, I'll put it up. Yeah, because I clocked something a while ago, and what they'll do, they're a bit like David Icke. They build him up, and he's come out with some fantastic. But now he's just a joke, and and a lot of people don't want to listen to him. Now, I mean, I know David Icke ain't right. I know he's part of that. There's no two ways about it. But some of his work and some of the shit he's come out with is brilliant. Yeah, although it's not his work, you can see that a mile off. He ain't wrote no fucking book. He's just a very good talker. And I've learned in this game, it's not even about, it's about how you put something across. And yeah. But yeah, it's just, I mean, how many more necrophiliacs, because that necrophilia, that's just revolting. And you do know that there is a sexually transmitted disease that you can only get from fucking dead bodies. That's just so sick. And then you only get 2 years for it. What? I don't know what's going on with this guy, because they are the BBC. It's all over the BBC headlines, so it's not like that they're trying to hide it or bury it, which is worrying. Because they're going to make him out to be a lone wolf. Didn't have no help. Went into the mortuary when everyone had gone home. How does everyone go home in the mortuary? Mortuary's 24 hours. People die. People don't die 9 to 5. They die after hours. And he was only an engineer. He was an electrical engineer. So I don't understand how he used his card when everybody had gone home. I mean, when do people leave a mortuary? There's people there 24/7. There has to be, because people die at all times of night. Same way you got nurses on the wards, you've got fucking mortuary staff. And he was around when Savile was around. Yeah, and and that Paul Farrell, he was working at Great Ormond Street for 35 fucking years. Something keeps them in their job. This guy was 30 years. Paul Farrell, 35 years. And these people all know each other. There is no way, Jose, that they do not know each other. I know, and to think otherwise is ridiculous. To think Ian Watkins had no thingy to Tom Watkins. Yeah? That's a dot on the cards, mate. And Camilla Batmangelli. Look at, oh my God, I swear to God, Brian put he put Andrew's face with that Camilla's turban. I'm telling you now, there is such a distinct likeness. It is scary. Because like I said, they picked Andrew Ash from somewhere. They didn't just go on the street and say, oh yeah, let me have you out. They picked him out from somewhere. And he definitely had been abused. I've no doubt he had been, but not to the extent of what he said. But he was they picked him from somewhere. They used him for a reason. And I don't have to do what Brian has to stick to facts and that. Me, I can say what I want. And I'm not going to lie. I think there's some connection there. There's definitely some connection between Camilla Batmangelli and Andrew Ash. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know, because I don't think he's... I think he might have been one of her... Because you do know about the eugenics programme. Yeah. And all Camilla has to do is have her eggs harvested. And that's all, and that's all it takes to get someone who's ready to fuck about with from birth, if you know what I mean. And they've got bags of them. The eugenics programme has been running since before the World War II. So that's, they've had a long time to practice their craft. Even Epstein is Santa Fe Lodge in Mexico. No one talks about that. They had them crying, what they call it, crying. I don't know the word for it, but the freezing. It was like a baby farm. It was like a baby farm, but no one talks about that. No one talks about it. And another thing, I'm not going to lie, there's been times when me and Brian's been talking and I've been thinking like, nah, it's that may be a little step too far. He told me that Prince Andrew, there was a plan that like they was going to try and get him, and I'm not going to lie, you know what, he's right. He's right. Somehow they're going to try and get Andrew out of this. But I think he said, because I don't know, he admitted the other day to knowing Virginia Roberts, and he said that he didn't think she was being trafficked because she looked so happy and she was bringing girls. So now they're trying to make her look like a perpetrator, which, I mean, it's just ridiculous. Oh, it is. Oh, thank God for that. I am on live. I was shitting myself then, because last time I spoke for like over half an hour and it wasn't even recording. So that's why the only you see me, and I was like, oh, fuck it. Because it's like when you've done half an hour and you can't even remember what you've said anyway. Do you know what I mean? So it didn't make sense doing it over again. But at least I got a lot more to talk about this time. But this guy in this hospital, they were Kent hospitals, Maidstone and Tunbridge Wells, Royal Tunbridge Wells. It's just another, like, yeah, let's put this guy up front. He's going to take the shit. We don't even know if he's going to go to prison. You know, you don't know. Because I think they just get these people and say, look, dude, you know, because how are we going to know? We've seen one picture in the paper. And that's it. So something's not right. And also, no one's mentioned Savile. And it's and you know, how many Saviles do you think are out there? Because he talked about seeding the world with the eugenics program. Epstein talked about seeding the world. Even Ghislaine Maxwell talked about seeding the world. So, you know, there's enough of their little fucking psychopathic clones running around. And some they're used up, some they have different uses. But they're always, you know, there's an endless supply of these genetic whipped up in a petri dish, which I think Madeleine McCann was as well, because she was conceived by IVF as well. So I think what was her name? What was her mum's name? Kate McCann. I think she was just a you know, like a handler, a rent a room, rent a room type person, because there's people out there that do that shit, and they'll do it happily for the cause. Yeah, what cause is that? Because I don't give a shit what they say. They're never finding that girl alive. And me and Brian, I'm not going to lie, we have laughed about it, but it's really dark. We think they hit her. When they went to Clement Freud's house, I think they hit her. And that's why they're so confident that her body will never be found. Probably right. It's just... And do you know what? All these cases over the years, you add them all up. And it's scary. It is really, really, really scary. It's disgusting and it's scary. Because no one's looking up. No one, you know, it's like I keep doing these lives, talking about the Arts and Embassies programme, which allows them to ship live performance art. And I got a feeling that it's done on Amazon, Etsy, Wayfair. I mean, what was that? What was the thing of their investigating Wayfair? They asked Wayfair if they was human trafficking, and they said no. And now they're putting out adverts where a child pops out the fucking box. And and this time they're going to be investigating themselves again now, because there's MPs calling for this and MPs calling for that. And now what they'll do, they'll investigate themselves. It won't go any further, and it'll be like, no, he was a lone guy, didn't have no help, didn't have no... And it's like they're taking the piss out of our fucking... They really are taking the piss out of us. Yeah, you know, it couldn't be no more obvious. Like yesterday, me and Brian was having a chat, and he pulled up this was it the Blitz Club? And straight away, all you see is spirals, and it's like, what? Like, this is a joke, man. But what ain't a joke is what they're doing. What they're doing to them poor little it's because they don't look at children the way we look at children. Yeah, they don't. They look and they just see a piece of meat. And that's, people can't get their head around that. But that is the exact, they do not look at our chickens, they call them. Chickens. And, it's really, really, really bad. And then every now and then you'll get it, because they can't not report on something, right? So every now and then, like the Fred and the Rose West case, they was going for a fucking donkey's years. Yeah, and when the police first arrested them for rape and something else, they took over 100 cassette tapes from the house. And they went missing. Now, what do you think them cassette tapes would have contained? Cannibalism, Satanism, the old shebang. But they was just being like, they was just workers for these people. And it always stops at the workers. And because all of that child porn that guy had, there's people on that child porn, starring in that child porn. And it's not like Joe Public can afford this shit. You couldn't afford to be, it is for an elite, highest elites. Yeah, Dutroux, he was another one. He was just a little worker running around doing everyone's dirty work. Yeah, and it's them people that do get caught. Yeah, but where's the punishment? There's no punishment for these people. Yeah, Hillary Clinton, for fuck's sake, she's just wrote a fucking book. Because I tell you what, it was my mum said to me on Sunday she might buy Hillary Clinton's book. I nearly choked on me dinner. I was like, what? And she's wrote a book. Well, like, my mum just looks at Hillary Clinton like she's a strong woman, and it's like, oh my God, she's one of the most evil bitches in the fucking world. She really is. I mean, like that. I mean, there's so many of them to choose from, but they're all celebrities. They're all famous. They're all like Tom Hanks. How is he in another film? I see another film coming out of his. How the fuck is anyone putting him in a film? And have you noticed how many films are coming out of cinema? They said that they stopped filming in COVID. No, they fucking never. They never stopped filming. They just made them, and then now they're releasing them left, right and centre. There's a film, oh God, there's so many films coming out, it's beyond a joke. Yeah. But, can you hear my Ronnie? I had to wait for the fireworks to finish before I'd done a live, because otherwise he goes absolutely mad. And I've locked him in my bedroom, but he's still not happy. I have to let him out in a minute. He's such a little shit, my boy. But I'll tell you what, give me dogs over people any day of the week. Yeah, they're more loyal. Everything about them is just better than people. But saying that, my friends are not too bad actually. Not compared to like what Brian said. I'm not gonna lie. Like I get pissed off with my mates sometimes and things like that. But I've not experienced anything that Brian's experienced, and I don't think I could handle it. I'd have gone off my head by now, because he's definitely a problem for these people. And it seems to me is like the more time that goes on, the bigger problem he becomes, because Brian's learned now how to put stuff across, how to, and I'd probably say he's probably the sanest that I've seen him for a long time. He's getting his shit together. And when he comes, you people, oh my God, you have no idea. When I say he's done everything, so he's going to be coming out with podcasts that are so crystal clear and so professionally done. I'm excited for him because he's got his website. They can't take him down. Saying that, I got an email off YouTube earlier on. They've took down one of my fucking videos. Fucking Liberty. Yeah, and do you know what one it was? The Alex Jones one. Now, and that means they're going to take channels soon. That always happens. You always get that first, and then, yeah. So I know they're going to be taking down my channel pretty soon. I would imagine. My podcast never lasts. Oh God, I've done my lighter now. Look. Oh, what a joke. Sorry, I need to light my joint. Nope. Oh, for fuck's sake. I am like a fucking walking... Nah, this might work. No. Oh, for God's sake, where's my other lighter? Every time I come on and do a live, I lose my lighter. And now I'm fucked. But, oh well, lost my lighter. Joint to last longer then, wouldn't it? But, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, we are living in a world that, like, is like the LBGT movement. It's been hijacked. It's been hijacked, because I ain't got no problem with LBGT. No, none at all. You know, you do what you want to do. You know, whoever... And like, when I used to work in Soho, we had Madame Jojo, so you see a lot of drag queens. And I've never had a problem with them. But it's getting to a point where it's going too far. You know, and they're using, like, hate speech. If you say something that, you know, fuck me... Fuck that anyway, because Andrew Boyne, you're a cunt, mate. You are a cunt, and that's you know. And then trying to say, oh, she's appealing to the CPS to try and scare Brian. Fuck off! You ain't scaring Brian, and you certainly ain't scaring me. Yeah, because in fact, I'm not gonna lie. I'd love for them to come knock my door, and I think even if they went and knocked Brian's door, they'd get a bit of a shock this time. But they seem to be leaving him alone. He's stopped having pizzas delivered to his house, and I really hope it stays that way, because you know, enough's enough. Enough's enough. And to be quite honest with you, all he's trying to do is is expose this shit. But I can't imagine what it'd be like to have people that you really think are helping. I mean, I went through it with John Wedger, but that was it. And then, oh yeah, tea, but that was it. Yeah, I was lucky that I met Brian when I did. Yeah, and he showed me. And the thing is like, obviously at first I was like, nah. And he ain't been wrong at all about anything. That's what scares me. He ain't been wrong about anything. And this Prince Andrew thing, it's shit. It's a load of shit, because it's not criminal. It's not criminal. It's civil. And plus, she was over the age of 16's the legal age in Great Britain. And there's no way they're getting him to America. That's not going to happen. So, you know, it's... but I'm telling you now, they all like pre-pubescent girls. And they also have... They like the MK Ultra slaves. A lot of them get a buzz about sleeping with the MK Ultra slaves. I don't know why. Maybe it makes them feel big and bad, and I don't know. But I do know one thing: this country, it's bad. It's really bad. And I tell you what, if you stopped for a minute and watched what your kids were watching, like that little Nas X, I can't. I don't think I can... it's just disgusting. It's so disgusting, and yet he's one of the hottest stars on the planet at the moment. And I think he does the tofu ads as well on telly, the one all made up. And his lyrics, he comes out with catchy songs with a catchy hook, because that's what they do. That's all they've got to do, you know. And I'm just wondering how Big Nas is feeling at this moment in time, because if that was my younger mate, I'd be telling him fuck off, bringing out fucking trainers with blood in them and with a pentagram on the top, and they only stopped it because there was an outcry. That was a step too far. Yeah, but do you think it's going to be a step too far in a couple of years' time? Like, I just want to remind you that 40 years ago, being homosexual was imprisonable offence. And we've come so... I'm not saying that's right, but I'm just saying that that's how they can change people's perception. And I think in 10, 15 years' time, they're going to have a stab at legalising paedophilia. And you're not going to see it coming. You're not going to see it coming. You know, all saying about the gender and they can choose their gender at 9 years of age. That's just about lowering the age of consent. Because if a child can decide what gender they want to be, they can decide that they can have sex. And, you know, we've had the paedophile information exchange. They said, oh, no, they disbanded that. Well, what about Tom O'Carroll then? Tom O'Carroll, he ain't ashamed. He feels what he's doing is right. And it's not. And you know, on my BitChute channel, there's a 60 minutes that they didn't do on mainstream. Hang on, I've got to go and let my Ronnie out 'cause he ain't stopped fucking barking. It's such a jar, but hopefully. You're all right, miss. They've stopped my missus' medication now. They only gave her 6 months, and yeah, that is yeah. But she seems all right as it goes. She seems all right. The cough ain't gone though, but yeah, you're not going to see it coming. You know, and then before you know it, boom. Now, I don't believe it's right that homosexuality should be imprisonable offence. I don't. I think it's. I don't believe that at all. But from where we've come to where we're at, it's a very, 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 very scary. It scares me because where are we going? I mean, there was a university talk. I did put it up on Facebook. I'll put it up again when I come off. It was this woman doing a TED talk. And she was like, now Jonas is a paedophile. But Jonas doesn't want to hurt children. Jonas loves children. It's a child molester who hurts children. And paedophiles are not child molesters. They love children. And you're there thinking, what the fuck is she talking about? Like, but this is at a TED talk. This is at a TED talk. And you're like, you want to fucking strangle Jonas because that's who she used. But she actually tried to say that paedophiles don't hurt children. It's just child molesters who hurt children. Now, for me, there's no distinction. Well, there is a bit as it goes because she... no, she hasn't got a point, but I didn't think that there were worse people than nonces, but there definitely are. Because to me, a nonce is a nonce. I don't give a fuck, but there is a darker level to this. A level that it's just so dark. So dark. And sometimes when I do this stuff, it gets to me sometimes, so I have to kind of take a break, because the stuff that I'm looking at now is it's like so far down the rabbit hole. Sometimes it really can get you. But I'm back again now, and well, still just saying. But yeah, I've got to sign in on this thing and get it done. I can't even remember what my password was for Restream. But then I can see people's comments. I can't even see people's comments at the moment. But it just distracts me. I get distracted easily. And what was I looking at here? Yeah, back children again. Nickelodeon. Let's talk about Nickelodeon. Nickelodeon has so many paedophiles. It's beyond a joke. I mean, it's but you got Bob. Hang on, Bob Saget, Victor Sava, Brian Peck, and that's just a thing. That's just a you know, just on the surface. There is so many more. Even the Disney vice president, and that was buried. That story, but he got 7 years, I think, for molesting a 7-year-old or a 6-year-old, and that's the vice president of Disney. And well, Disney's do employ a lot of paedophiles. I'm not going to lie. They actually have headhunted paedophiles from prison. And you just, how are they getting away with this stuff? Like that Brian Peck, he got caught raping a child on the set. Raping a child on set. Went jail, come out and got a job with Disney. And then he was he's prevented from working directly with children, but he can be a producer of a children's show. What? And these stories all add up. Yeah, they add up. And you know, you look at how many nonces have been in the past year. And that's not even mentioning the police ones. Surely someone can see that there's a problem here. Apart from me and Brian. It is really bad. And also as well, sorry about this, but the ITNJC, Robert Steele, I thought he was fucking dead. What's going on there? Like, why is his friend posting up for him? Are we dumb? We must be the dumbest people on fucking earth. Because them ITNJ sittings are a load of shit. Yeah, there is a couple of true people on there, but for the most part, they're all shit. It's all shit. And then they use them clips to go and like make someone more legit, like John Wedger. Whenever you see him on a documentary, he's always in that ITNJ seating, and Robert Davies Steele, oh God, and about he died of COVID, and I'm seeing every minute I'm seeing Robert Davies Steele posted. What the fuck's going? Like, do they really think we're that stupid? He died of COVID. Oh my God, you know, and there's people that believe that. And I think, I mean, I don't know why they took him off the ITNJ seatings. They've definitely took him. I hope I had something to do with that, but I doubt it, because I don't doubt if my voice got that far. But, you know, I've been talking about him for a very, very, very long time. You know, when I saw him on the Mouthy Buddha video, I was like, okay. And then, like, the more things have gone on, like, he's good friends with Nora Maccabee, who's, well, the Maccabees, Max Maccabee and Michael Maccabee, they're really up with a piece of cake. He was James Alefantis' lawyer. So he's very good friends with them, and he's good friends with his Folger, who is Nora Maccabee's sister. So he's tight with them, very tight. And as for that Neke Lucas as well, she's another one. She's another dodgy one, because he promoted her, and she's friends with Nora Maccabee. How does that work when you're trafficked? You know, it's just all play acting, and it's all theatre. Yeah, but what ain't theatre is the trafficking that's going on, and the children that are suffering, and even not even just children, human beings. Mainly women and children. They're worth more, you know, and and you know, they're going to start another war soon, because you know what war gives them? Orphans. They love an orphan. Oh my God, yeah. And that's what war brings them. Don't just bring them like money, it brings them orphans. And in Haiti, and no one really, I mean, people, it's really bad, but no one cares. Because everyone's too busy with their... And I'm not blaming them, because it's designed to be that way. But there are so many things that are so wrong at the moment. But this child trafficking and this child porn industry and this snuff movie industry, that's real. That is as real can be, and that's very scary, you know. And the Clintons are right up there with that. I don't even know how they ain't been arrested. They're not in jail. You know, I mean, like, she deleted 33,000 emails from her private server after they gave her a subpoena to turn them over. Like no one can be that above the law. Yeah, so why the fuck them two ain't in jail is beyond me. And Ghislaine's trial's coming up soon, I think. Brian said that the other day. I don't follow it. I just think it's all a load of bullshit. And they're throwing Ghislaine under the bus to try and protect Rachel Chandler. I've no doubt about that. I mean, she's married into the Guinness family. She's married to Tom Guinness. Well, we all know about the Guinness. Well, some people do, but the Guinness family, they're just as bad as the Rothschilds. And they're more over here as well. They're more active over in England. They got Matt Hancock in their pocket, and I'm sure there's a couple of others that they're thing. But that Claire Hazel, she's the Countess of her real name is Countess of Ive, and Claire Hazel is the name that she used to go by, and you find her in Epstein's flight logs and Black Book. 32 times she flew on Epstein's flight, all whilst working for the NSPCC, but no one's really mentioned them. And that's quite a big story as far as I'm concerned. Like Claire Hazel, like, what was she doing on Epstein's flight 32 times? I mean, that's more than fucking Bill Clinton, man. You know, it's just so bad. And the more you try and tell people, like, the more mad that you can sound. Because, you know, when I was talking about human meat consumption, everyone was like, oh no, that's a bit too far. Well, hello. I weren't lying. You know, and this shit, this is going, it's just, we're living in some dark times, man. Dark times. And for me, if they're going to come with the end days, just do it. Just do it, set the reset button, and it's done. Yeah, because for me, I don't see how we're going to pull ourselves out of this shit, to be quite honest with you. And that's the God's honest truth. We've come too far. We're too far down the rabbit, you know. And no matter how much I say or how much, we're not going to put it right, but what choice do you have? You know, I never saw it leading to this. When I first started this with John, I thought I was going to do a little bit. But once you're in it, you ain't got no choice. Yeah, and it's, you know, I can't stay silent. There's no fucking way I can stay silent. So, you know, they're going to take me down soon, because you always get the your content's been removed and then they remove my channel. So I doubt if this channel will be up longer, but I don't give a shit anyway, because Brian's got his website that can't get taken down anyway. They just, you know, they just make me sick, because they'll take me down, right? And what the, you know, it's in a way it's a badge of honour, because, but it really winds you up, because you put so much effort into doing your lives and then boom, gone. Then you have to start again, then I have to start again, and it disheartens you, because you've got people like Sharon Gow picking up, oh yeah, with her 244, so fuck off, I've had 4,000 subscribers by now. You fucking ginger cunt. And Andy, with all her fucking subscribers, where did your subscribers come from, you tramp? Yeah? It's Sean, that was the one with all these, but people, do you know what? I spoke to someone the other day who actually still believed in Sean Atwood, and I was like, whoa, that's That's just nuts. But yep, you still got people who hang on to his every word, believe every word. I mean, I did for a hot minute, but yeah, that didn't last very long. So, yeah, I mean, I did for a little while. I did think he was... And when he phoned up that all them people in the Black Book, and I managed to find Henrietta Conrad in there. It didn't ring her up, though. Jim screeched round her. I noticed that. But, yeah, and, well, what else can I talk about? There's so many things. Bill Gates. Why ain't that motherfucker in jail? How did that... There is so much out there on Bill Gates. It is just ridiculous. Yeah, but him and old Melinda, they keep chugging on, and it just goes to show you, I actually thought you had to be double jabbed to go on holiday. No, you don't. I spoke to my friend today who's just recently been abroad, and I said, did you get double jabbed? Because I was shocked. And he was like, no, I only had to take and he had to pay £90 to take a test. And I was like, you see how these people are? They're making it sound like you can't go abroad without getting double jabbed. That's bollocks. For now, it's bollocks, because he didn't get double jabbed and he's just been away. They even had me believing it as well, until he told me that today, and I'm like, okay, well, scaremongering. And, oh yeah, Chanel with their guillotine and their chain. Did you know that, people? That Chanel have a fully working guillotine and a chainsaw. Now, they're not one-off pieces, they're fully functioning pieces. As far as I knew, they did handbags and perfume. And now you've got the Chanel guillotine, but they've added a chainsaw. And like, you put it in and it comes straight up. Now, and that's how sick. That is how sick these people are. They'll think that they're killing, they're killing children in style, or they don't. I don't know. But I was shocked. Brian told me about the guillotine, and then when I went and checked, they'd added a chainsaw to their collection. Does that not worry anybody? Oh, it's all right. It's a bit wacky, Chanel. That's all right. No. What is the chainsaw for? What is the fucking guillotine for? No, they're they're what is it? He said they're thingy pieces. They're there's only a certain amount of them made. Oh God, when you go into this shit, you see how bad it really is, and it is so scary. It's kept me awake at night. It's horrendous. And oh man, but I'm gonna have a look through my book, because I've been oh yeah, Brian Singer, that was enough. Oh, I put a thingy of the Dan Schneider, Nickelodeon, Brian Peck, Brian Singer, Morty Weiss, Jason James Murphy. Oh God. And have you seen the cartoons lately as well? It's just bad. What was that? Brighton defeated John Mann, Jeffrey Cox, Roger Gow. There is so much in here, so much. God, even like Scientology, that's another one. The Trolling Academy. Let's talk about the Trolling Academy, shall we? Because that seems to be getting a bit of a... I keep forgetting about it, to be quite honest with you. But, yeah, the Trolling Academy. I mean, what is that about? And they said it's just to troll MPs. Well, I think the whole perception of trolling... I don't think we should be advertising that we've got a Trolling Academy, but it's in Wales. And it's linked with the the Hillary Clinton School of Law. So, and the person who runs the Trolling Academy was Raymond. Was it John Bishop or Raymond Bishop? And then there was a bishop who was the head of internal, at the Hillary Clinton School of Law, and it's not just named after her. She actually went and took herself over, come over here, and stood there proudly in a photograph with these people. And I don't think I even have to tell people, wherever that bitch is involved, it's and you know, the pictures with her, with Tom Watkins and Esther Rant, they done a Childline thing. And knowing what I know now, like that Tom Watkins, man, I think he was one of the biggest. I think he was about as big as Savile when it comes to procuring children. And that's why Brian is such a problem for them as well. It's not just about the Prince Andrew, it's about the fucking Tom Watkins shit. Because he can blow that shit out of the water. And I reckon they got to every other band member apart from Brian. And Brian knows, I think, that there's no way that them other band members... I know there's one of them that definitely got it. But the other ones, yeah, they've just... You know, they're still going. E17 is still going. Yeah, but they've put this Robbie Craig, who done a really good tune, Woman Trouble, back in the day. But they've put him in as Brian. And, you know, you've got Tony Mortimer, you've got Terry and that. And I'm saying to Bri, mate, they got at them. And I reckon they got at them when they went to Hawaii. Because they asked Brian to go. Brian weren't going to go. Brian was like, no, I want you to go home, see me bird. I've got a new bird and I want you to go home. And I said, Bri, I think that saved you, mate. I'm not going to lie, because whatever happened to them lot, I reckon it happened in not to one of them, but the other two. I reckon they got to him in a way. Because they've both gone on to still have good careers, and they've not shown Brian no loyalty at all. No loyalty, even though he was only trying to do something good. It's really bad. But yeah, no, I was talking about Trolling Academy. I keep flitting off now, but I was talking about the Trolling Academy, and yeah, why have we got? I don't know if there's one in America. I know there's one in Russia, but they got caught. Well, we've got one fully functioning, flourishing, and you know, you had Caroline Flack, very high publicised suicide because of trolling, you know, and it's, and we've got a Trolling Academy, and it's a real academy. It's not a joke. It's as real can be. Put it in Trolling Academy, it comes up, you know. And in a time where where trolling is so bad, to me, I don't understand it. I don't know why they just can't press block. But we live in a time where trolling is a problem, obviously, for some people. Destroys their life. And we've got a troll, and he not only the Trolling Academy, he owns a media company called Crockles, and they have a media company in Westminster as well. And when you see the Fraggle, yeah, the Fraggle that runs the trolling, it's beyond a joke. When I first reported on him, yeah, he actually sent me a message under YouTube saying, if you take my academy out, you think, oh, I'm going to sue you. I was like, crack on, mate. Crack on, because you're a disgrace, and your fucking Trolling Academy is a disgrace. And I'll say that again, you're a disgrace. And the guy who runs it is a sex pest. He got done for harassing 2 women when he was, you know, you're just like, oh. And I think he's got learning difficulties. And he's being pushed as a counsellor. I haven't even looked to see how far he got with that, but this guy is so compromised. You can see that. He's so, but, and I just don't know what to say, because I don't want to sound horrible to people with learning difficulties, but this guy is a serious danger. Oi, Missy! This guy is a serious danger. You can see he's a predator. You can he just looks like a fucking wreck. And they're asking him his opinion on abortion, I think it was. And you're just looking at, is this for real? Is this actually for real? And I think he goes under the name of Dijon the Great. I'm pretty sure it was him, but he was made not cardinal. Oh fucking hell, what was it? But he's a bishop of his own Crockles Academy. But you laugh, but it's not a joke. It's not a joke. Yeah, and I just see another poor guy with learning difficulties being exploited. That's what he looks like to me. And I think, you know, the person who's the head of admissions in the Hillary Clinton School of Law has got the same name as him. Now, they're both in Swansea. This guy who runs the track, it's either Jonathan Bishop or Raymond Bishop, one of them two. I can't remember the exact name. But he was studying law. And to me, he's got no... It is bad. But he's definitely a predator. He's definitely a predator, and he got thrown out of law school. And I'm wondering if it was the Hillary Clinton School of Law that he got thrown out, because he got you know, because he's a sex pest, and that's at the very least, I believe. That is, he reminded me of Andrew Ash, actually. You know, that kind of there's definitely something not right there. How the police, who've done all these hundreds of hours of interviews with him, didn't see that is beyond me. Like Ian Puddock said, you talk to the guy for 5 minutes and you can get him to confess to being the Yorkshire Ripper. That was his exact words. Shut up! That was. Let me just let him out 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm just trying to find another lighter. Oh, for fuck's sake. I had another lighter. I had a red lighter. And now it's gone. Oh, fuck. Yeah, sorry about that. Just had to deal with the dogs. But yeah, no, the whole idea of the Trolling Academy to me is just not right. Because... But then again, it's just something else that's just wrong in this fucking world, mate. It's... And I can look through my book, and there is just so... But Robert David Steele, he comes up a lot. He comes up a lot. And what is very, 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 very obvious is... what was I saying? Oh my God, what an idiot. I've just forgotten what I was saying and just mid-sentence forgot. Looking at something on here, wasn't I? Yeah, Countess IV, NSPC. Yeah, and oh my God, how did I forget that? Countess IV has a brother-in-law, and he's called Lawrence Guinness. And he was the other, there was Alan Yentob, Camilla Batmangeli, and Lawrence Guinness, who was running Kids Company. Now, they've kept Lawrence Guinness's name well out of it, but he's still there. And he runs the Children's Society. I mean, nothing to worry about there, is there? It's... And the Laura Silsby case. The Laura Silsby... I mean, I could sit here all night and go. The Laura Silsby, convicted child trafficker. Clintons went over, stepped in, got her released. And now she heads up the Amber Alert. She's changed her name to Laura Geller. And now she heads up Amber Alert. And the Clintons give her the job. Now, a convicted child trafficker heading up Amber Alert. An Amber Alert is the first port of call. If a child goes missing, Amber Alert is the first people who are notified. Now, a convicted child trafficker. And it's just one thing after another. And because it's in America, don't think it don't affect us here. Because whatever happens in America happens here, without a shadow of a doubt. Let me just go and shut my door, because he got... Ronald! Ronald! Come on, in! Ronnie, in! Ronnie, in! Ronnie, in! Ronnie, kiss him now. Come on, in. Yeah, what was I saying? I was talking about Amber Alert, wasn't I? It's... And like I said, because she's in America, don't think that shit don't happen here. Because if in fact it happens here first normally. Over here, no one's hardly ever heard of Rachel Chandler. And that shows you how much. Because in America, there's no one who don't know her name. But here, oh no, no. Not a dicky bird. And she's as active over here as what she is. She does a Midland modelling agency, which when you look at her models to watch, they look not like models. Let's say that. And she works for Wayfair. Well, she worked for Wayfair over here, I think. That's nothing to worry about, is it? Because it's Rachel Chandler Guinness, her real name. Yeah, it's oh, done it. It's scary because I come across her in 2000, and when I first started going into this, 2016, 2017, I was more interested in what was going. I didn't realise it was happening here. I just thought, and then when the Pizzagate hit, it started to dawn on me, hang on a minute, hang on. And we've got some really prolific child sex traffickers. Really prolific. I mean, Camilla Batman Jelly, she's just, she you know, but she's quite high up. She's of Iranian royalty. She descends from the House of Khan, which... And do you know what? It shows you how sometimes you don't think, because I didn't even associate her with Sadiq Khan. And yeah, and I think he's related to Agar Khan, who has his own island, Bell Island. It's a dot on the cards that they're related. You don't get two powerful people called Khan and not be related. And Agar Khan married into the Guinness family. No coincidence there then, is there? And it goes on and on and on. I could just go through this book and just like it is. I have so much stuff in here, and it's all to do with child trafficking. You'd think like. This is a whole book. I've got the Jesuit oath there, which is horrendous. The Jesuit oath, that's just another fucking joke. But I believe they were the first what they call a Manchurian thingy. I believe that they were the first subjects, to be quite honest with you, because they are so, the Jesuits, they are so mind controlled. It's unbelievable. But that mind controlled or not, like I do think that sometimes people have choices, and I I mean, I just don't know. I mean, we've got Spirit Cooking, Marina Abramovich, and the BBC were pushing her. What was it? The Ugly Duckling. It was that was the name of the series, but they've took it down now. And they were saying that she's just such a visionary artist. Have you seen her fucking work? She throws piss and shit and bodily fluids over an effigy of a child. That's what they show us. What the fuck? When these people eat cadaver cakes, like, that's as near as you can get publicly without breaking the law. Like, I love cake. Not gonna lie, absolutely love cake, but no. How can you eat a fucking cadaver cake? What the fuck? And when you cut in, like, it has all slices over it as well. Like, it's all sliced up, like it self harms and everything. And then when they cut in, it's that red velvet stuff. It's disgusting. And anyone who practices that is, to me, you know, there ain't no fucking. Why would you be pretending to eat a cadaver? And this is in public. This is in public. What do you think happens when them doors shut? What do you think? She turns into Mary Poppins? No. And like I said, these people look at children like they are a commodity, like they're chickens in a packaging plant. But yeah, it's easier to transport children than what it is chickens, I think. It seems that way to me. And as long as they're black children or they're foreign children, it's you know, we don't look up. We don't look up. We don't, you know, and it for me, any child, wherever they're born, like, they deserve, like, love and people that care about them. And I said this, if someone come to me with a child that had been abused, I wouldn't even know where to send them. I would not even know what to do with a child. And that's bad. That is really, because I wouldn't know. I don't trust the social services after what I've seen they do. And I've had some not personal experience, but I know someone who's very close to me, who's had dealings with the social services, and they're not there to help. There's no help given. It's just all about just putting sanctions on the mother. Say, oh, if you see the father, then and a social worker like Mike G, who works for Free to Be Kids, is a safeguarding officer, and he can walk into someone's house, say there was a can of lager in there, I think they're drinking, and they will take your children. And I didn't believe it. I did not believe it until I saw it with my own eyes, and I saw my friend's daughter getting entrapped. Literally, they was trying to entrap her. And they offered her temporary housing. She went, and then the landlord let himself in. Like, it's what is going on? Like, we used to have a social services that want to help children. Like, I never come across any fucking fuckery social worker, but then I wasn't in the same position as something. But I'm pretty sure the social services did used to try and help, at least. Like, now it's all about taking your child and putting it in foster care. And you've even got, like, people like Mike G. Oh my God, he just looks like a Savile turnout. I don't give a shit. Like, Mike G, who runs Free to Be Kids, he's definitely like, he just looks like Savile. Yeah, but no, I'm not. I'm just saying that, like, these people all have a look. These people all have a fucking look. Yeah, and it's wonky, as Brian would say. They look wonky. But no, you know, how many more? Like, I mean, Marina Abramovich, she's like the celebrity to the stars, isn't she? Like, and where is their line? If you've seen the artwork, it is, oh my God, how can anybody How can anybody want to look at that art? And I'm talking about, there was Kim Noble. Have you seen her artwork? Why would anybody want them paintings on their wall of dead children in swamps and and the Podestas with their art collection? I mean, there are dead kids in a swamp. There's children in different stages of abuse, and I'm telling you now that Anderson Cooper from the Vanderbilt family, that boy in one of John Podesta's paintings, yeah, no, Tony Podesta's paintings, I think it was. He's tied up in a swimming pool, and it is the image of Anderson Cooper. And but when it comes to modern art, there's no line. There's no. You can display what you want and call it modern art, and it becomes acceptable. I mean, I didn't even like the Mona Lisa. Bring back the Mona Lisa, man. Fucking hell. At least there's some. She didn't look so happy, did she? But bloody hell, it's, you know. And I mean, I've never got art anyway. I don't understand art. But what is coming out now as art is paedophilia. It's their wet dreams. You know, and getting up every morning looking at dead kids, looking at children that are being abused. And it's and they've always been there. Like paedophores, they're in children's tales, Hansel and Gretel. So don't think this is a new thing. Oh no. This goes back, like this goes back to Babylon. It goes back to ancient Egypt. It goes back to, you know, every civilization of. Well, paedophilia, it was Antinous, isn't it, in the Roman times? Antinous is the god of or was he the boy who got abused? One of them. James Alefantis' avatar thing. Like, you know, it goes, and it's Antinous. And that James Alefantis as well is a fucking Rothschild. And that is proven. He is 100% a 100% Rothschild. And these families, man, like how many, like, and that James Alefantis, he's, oh my God, he's just so evil, so disgustingly evil. If you see some of his Instagram pictures and shit, it's not right. It's not right, and yet these people, he was voted one of the, I think it was the 49th or 50th most powerful man in Hollywood, in Washington. A pizza owner, a pizza parlour. What? Of all the politicians that are in there, and they come up with him as the 50th most influential person in Washington, and he owned a pizza parlour. Oh, yeah, because he's just a normal pizza parlour owner, isn't he? You know, they put him on, that Megyn Kelly put him on there, and he, you know, I'm a victim here. And you just, what? But yet that's been thingied over. But I'll tell you what, that Robert Davies still, he's so far in with these fucking Pizzagate people. There is no way he's not involved. No fucking way. Yeah, and how does anybody know what he can go back to America? No one's going to know, are they? Probably go to Hawaii, to John Podesta's hot dog stand. It just, you know, I mean, I laugh because I mean they tried to get Brian to go to Hawaii. I don't even want to know what would have happened if he went to Hawaii. If it was going to happen, it happens in Hawaii, as Little Nas tells you. I want to feel on your ass when I'm in Hawaii. And I just think Hawaii's just become a paedophile island. It's a haven for paedophiles. Is it Maui? And I didn't believe Brian. I was thinking about that Tom Watkins. Nah, he's going to be old. He could. But Brian's fucking right. These people live forever. Yeah? Look at Gloria Vanderbilt. She lived to 98. You know, these people, like, look at the Queen. She, I mean, no, you expect her to kill over any day. It's like, come on, man. Like, these people live long lives. And Brighton said he had a tummy tuck and went to Maui. And how are we to know? What, to go and live out his days at the hot dog stand? No one knowing no different, you know? And I reckon they just kind of like got rid of it because things were going to get too hot. He was obviously very big in the music industry. Very, very big. I'd say more powerful than Simon Cowell, to be quite honest with you. And he would have been the main procurer of... well, he preferred young boys. I don't think it matters. Young boys, young girls, whatever. He was right up there with the MK Ultra shit because of the Mickey Mouse. You know, it's so. And then Jonathan King, they got Jonathan King to take the rap for him. Done a couple of years in jail, and now he's out. And you know, how long's this necrophiliac gonna get? Because they reckon that it's only because he done the murders in 1989 or 87, one of them two, he's going to get life. But he went guilty. So there's no trial. Nothing's coming out. Just what the BBC want you to know. And yeah, they hid the child abuse images quite a way down in the article. And it's for me... Okay, you're fucking dead bodies, but dead is dead. It's the live ones. It's the live children. Yeah, and I would love to know who's on them floppy disks and hard drives. And a couple of the articles were very misleading. Like, and in one of them it said 34 years, but in two of them it said 33 years. And it's 33 again. And Sarah Everard, there's their grubby little fingerprints are all over it, and it's just really bad. I keep saying it, but it's hard for me to get my head around how bad. Coming from the world that I come from, I thought I knew everything. You know, you think you know, not know everything, but you think you know more than other people know. Like I said, I thought the worst person you could get was a nonce. And like I said, I never thought he got no worse than that, mate, but he gets so much fucking worse. Because, yeah, and the internet, all it seems to have done, I mean, it's done some favours, obviously, but it just seems to benefit paedophiles. That's all I ever see benefiting from the internet. Because... you know, I mean, I'm sitting here on social media, but my stuff gets taken down. But yeah, like, there are paedophile websites out there, like that Cuties one, that Cutie Garden, and they don't get taken down because they stay within the guideline. Like, it's just absolutely crazy. But I mean, when. Like, modern art, I've got it written here. It says modern art presents paedophilia and cannibalism. Paedophile. And it's like, where is the line? You've got children in positions of, like, terrifying positions, adult genitals are exposed, beheadings and blood, cannibalism and Satanism. And that is what modern art is. I don't get modern art. But modern art is what enables these people to transport children under live performance art. And, yeah, they have their own customs. They have their own people who deal with the live performance art. And it's got, you know, Wayfair, Amazon, Etsy, they all had overpriced shit on their fucking channel. It's, you know, and they don't even have to go through normal checks. They can just sail through. Because they've got their people there, and it's getting to a point where, I mean, the Arts and Embassies programme, I ain't spoke about that for a long time. That in itself, it's just, it's just wrong. It's just so wrong. Because you can say, oh no, live performance art could be animals. They can legally transport animals. Animals are legally transported. What else do you think live performance art is? What else can it be? And they love beheaded, like these poor children. That's all that, you know. That's all you can think of. Like these children that never see the light of day. They never see the light of day because they're just bred for this shit. And if you think that that's not to think that that's not happening, you're crazy. They've had generations of breeders, generations and generations of breeders, and yet it's still all hush hush. You know, the most you get is a lone wolf. He's doing it like what Paul Farrell, 35 years at Great Ormond Street Hospital, but yet he was working alone. He went guilty. Yeah, and it is really bad. And they said after Jimmy Savile, it can never happen again. It will never happen again. It will, and it'll keep happening, and it'll keep happening, and it'll keep happening. And it's just that, you know, they're just they just put it on this lone wolf and say it was all him. He's going to admit it, which he has done, and now he's up for sentencing. And you won't hear no more of it. You will not hear no more of it. It's Falconbrook. Sorry, I'm just looking at something here. Falconbrook School. If anybody can tell me, because I know John was working with a special needs child with like at a school, and if anybody can like let me know what the school was, because I would like to know. Actually, I'm not going to lie, I would like to know. And I've got a thing here, Falconbrook School. I wonder if it was that, because that'd be interesting, won't it? I mean, you just imagine John Wedger teaching your special needs child. It's really bad. I keep saying it, don't I? It's just unbelievable. Getting your head around it. It's just really... Look, Rachel Chandler, Midland Modelling Agency. Fucking Richard Branson, he's another one that I keep forgetting about. Oh, God. Sindona Taglioni. Hello Productions. Now, even that in itself is hello Productions is very but what else, what led to that? There was a UK PLC client directorship linked with that. And she was saying, oh, that like Brian's saying that I'm going on like it weren't real. It weren't like, love, you're on the fucking production thing. Yes, Sindona Taglioni. Oh, mate. Dear me, they've been going for so fucking long. And there's so many things that I've forgotten about, you know. And but it all adds up. It all adds up. Oh, Terry Taglioni, Andy, Kelly Diamond, Lara Fairy Love. Oh my God, Lara Fairy Love. If you ever see her, fucking, she was a foster mum, and there was some stuff in her hot tub. It was just disgusting. And she was sitting there with a guitar, naked, singing to these children in a hot tub. Keith Harding, member thing from Pi. Membership director of Pi, worshipful master of the Mercurius Lodge. Cyril Smith and Liam Britton belong to that lodge as well. Fucking hell. I mean, GCHQ, they just collect child porn. That's what I think about them. That's all they do. They collect all the child porn that's taken by the police, and then it's blackmail, isn't it? Blackmail. So you know and this world is run by blackmail. Of that, I have no doubt whatsoever. Like, this world is completely run on blackmail. And, well, the Nazis have known that because Hitler put brothels near Cambridge, Oxford, all of our universities. When he became Chancellor, he opened brothels near, because he said paedophilia has no shelf life. But you'd think that, wouldn't you? But I think it has got a shelf life, and we're coming up to that shelf life. And I just hope that people just, like, at least wake up a little bit. It's, I mean, I don't even want to believe that everyone's involved, but so far, it's, I mean, like, John Wedger, take him for instance. Like, I wanted to believe that he was good. I really did. I really and truly did. Yeah. And and I put my friend forward to him because I believe that he was a really good guy. But I don't know about my friend now, because I'm not going to lie, I think I got set up left, right and centre there. I must have been a proper mug. But at least it only happened for a little while. Fucking hell, Brian, 30 years really, you might as well say. It's like Sydney Cook, Wolfpack. Have people heard of the Wolfpack? Or the, what did Brian call them? I knew him as a Wolfpack, but he knew him as something else. And Sydney Cook, like, he was another child procurer. One evil piece of shit. But he was working for, like, it's... Oh. I've got Neke Lucas, Norman Maccabee, Robert Steele, Sean Atwood. Even Robert De Niro. Everyone that I've looked up to has turned out to be not very nice. Mike G, safeguarding expert, social work consultancy. Now that's a bit of a weak, because how can somebody work in the private sector with his social work consultancy, and yet he's working in effect for the government? Because he's a safeguarding officer. That is very scary. Safeguarding officer. All you got to do is look at him and know that he's definitely fucking wonky. And the other bird, what was her name? Oh, fucking hell. Oh, what was her name? Oh, Camilla Angel. Oh, what was her name? Rachel, was it Rachel something? No, I ain't got it here. But there was another bird as well. Well, there was two. There was Maddie, Libby, Maxwell. There was this Rachel, and she was dodgy and all. She come from Common Purpose, but they've all worked under Camilla Batmangeli for years and years and years. So all they done was took us down. You know, it was no different to Kids Company. And she was, that Camilla had been nicked at the time, so she was she couldn't run a charity at that time. So they just took it. They just the day Kids Company shut down, Free to Be Kids started up. It's just ridiculous. And God, there's so much here. I could you could talk for forever. But it, you know, like I said, what isn't let me have a look. It's nice going through this sometimes. Well, not nice, but you realise how many things, like the Jeremy Bamber case. That was another case that turned and. But like I said, what isn't a joke is the children who are suffering as we speak, never seeing the light of day. Imagine that, being born and never seeing the light of day. Just to be born, just to be sacrificed, just to be just like a pig. It's just really, it's just disgusting. But like, I've got a Belfield, Watkins, Cox, the Porter, and all these protectors, like Robert David Steele. Like, you know what you're covering up, you piece of shit, and you ain't fucking dead either. But oh man, it is so bad. And that Puddock as well, he's up to his fucking neck in it. I mean, we've got NAMBLA. Yeah, NAMBLA. There you go. NAMBLA, North American Boy Love Association. It's a real association who George Soros gives lots of money to, and you know what the fuck? How have we got a NAMBLA? Which, to me, I think Pi kind of joined with them, because obviously the Pi over here, it couldn't keep on because it become public knowledge and people were like, what the fuck? Not knowing Harriet Harman, she was their lawyer, and she actually campaigned for the age of consent to be lowered to 9, and she personally campaigned for that. She spoke to the children at Kids Company. You know, and they're just all a circle. They're just all a fucking circle. And if you're not in it to start with, you're in it when because it's oh. And Todd Phillips in 1994 wrote a book, and it was called Chicken Hawk, and it was a book for men who love boys. Even get an NAMBLA t-shirt, by the way. And what day have they named as June the 20th as International Boy Love Day? Now, did you know that we had an International Boy Love Day and it was run by NAMBLA? And I'll go back to when I said about the bird who was giving a TED talk on paedophilia, saying that paedophiles, it's a sexual orientation. Jonas can't help being a paedophile. Like, and you just sit there thinking like, I'm not watching this. This ain't happening, but it fucking is. It is. Oh God. But did you? Even these French nuns, they never even got a mention. Did you know that there was 16 French nuns who complained to the church committee or whatever they call themselves, that they was being kept as sex slaves, and they didn't accept it. They didn't entertain it. They didn't, and it's. But there was loads of them. They weren't just like one nun. It was a lot of nuns. And it's like, no one's safe, man. No one's fucking safe. And did you know that the first case of church abuse was in the 1540s? Imagine that. And it coincided with the Jesuits, when the Jesuits started to really take off. The first abuse case was reported in the 1540s in the church. And nothing ain't changed since then. Nothing gets done. Paedophiles get protected. The nonsense fucking priests, more like, they get protected, moved on. And it's you know, it is. And apparently they follow the religion of Zeus, which is what they call hedonism. And they believe that prayers are just words. It's the sacrifice that's important. I just thought that was interesting to mention that. But like I said, I mean, I've been chatting away for long enough now. I've been going on and going on and going on. So I think I might as well leave it there now, because I've probably run out of things to say now. But overall, it's been lovely. But yeah, but I will be seeing you very soon, I've no doubt. But thanks for listening, everyone, and I shall see you later.